Big, incredible, great news to start your afternoon as the third stimulus package has multiple stimulus checks. A push now for $600 FPUC, an EIDL grant, and has hazard pay. But the deal provisions are still up for grabs and up for negotiations. So says Ron Wyden, the leading Democrat in the Senate. He says, you know what? President Biden knows this. He worked in the Senate. He lived in the Senate. When the bill lands in the Senate, we're going to make modifications. And if we want to go bigger, bolder, we will. This is huge news. In this recording of Third Stimulus Check for the first time ever, I show you where you can go bigger and bolder. And after we saw the new jobless numbers this week, it's a week to go bigger and bolder on stimulus. Great news across the board. I'm very excited for you on a big afternoon's recording. Third stimulus check and third stimulus package. Hey, good afternoon, everybody. This is Afternoons LA, part two of a three-part schedule on Afternoons LA. Before this video was check. If you missed that show, watch it. It goes over why the third stimulus package is getting modified on the upside in the next few days. Then this video goes over the details of all the items. And then right after this, I'm back with What the Chuck, going over the nuances of the third stimulus package battlegrounds, and also the way to get more unemployment benefits. Oh yeah, I'm bringing that back into the mix. And I'll be answering some of your incredible questions and comments live on air. If you've not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. This is LLate. From Wall Street to Main Street, from my home to your home, the most comprehensive financial news channel there is, delivering broadcast news 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So make sure you subscribe, and thank you to the countless who subscribed in the last 24 hours. Also, if you've not liked this video, make sure you like this video. We're approaching 100 million viewers in the next few days. It's an achievement never reached in the history of YouTube, so help us reach that goal by making sure you watch all of today's videos. It's based upon viewership of the videos. Also, if you consider becoming a member, become a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Calcino VIP, and get early access to PDFs to describe the stimulus that you can get before anyone else knows it's around. All right, with that, I have so much to hit to in this video. I'll be going over why the stimulus package items may be going bigger and bolder, the multiple stimulus checks, the push to get more stimulus on the stimulus check side, the push to get single individuals a second stimulus check as well as an earned income tax credit, and the push for unemployment. But I got a lot of other stuff to cover in this video, so please stay with me all the way to the end because, boy, you're going to see a lot. With that, let's get to the breaking news. The breaking news is that last week we ended with really bad jobless numbers. They weren't good. And with those bad jobless numbers, it signals the need for more stimulus. Jobless claims came in at 293,000 last week. The Wall Street Dow Jones had estimated to 760. It crushed the number. It was much higher. And it shows that continuing assistance claims have jumped to 21 million in the United States. This is far higher than anyone would expected. We had all those months from last year, if you were a viewer of this channel, where we were over 1 million claims. And when the pandemic hit, we're only at 200,000. So we are not anywhere close to good. Gregory Fionello said the fiscal and monetary sides of the equation seem to be priced in the market, and we need to see broader recovery, broader reopening, and broader dissemination of the vaccine. This is true. Well, we have good news across the board. First, Ron Wyden, a Democrat out of Oregon, says, you know what, when I get the bill, I'm not supporting it because I have every right as a senator to ask for more. And every other senator in the Senate will likely do the same if they so believe so. This is huge. This means the following. FPUC needs to go higher. It's currently at $400 a week. From March to August. Well, first of all, it wasn't even supposed to be those months just a few weeks ago. It was supposed to be January to September. It was supposed to be retroactive to January and then forward to September, giving you additional $100 on top of the $300 you already had and then bringing you all the way to September. Well, Ron Wyden doesn't like that. He says $600. And in fact, he says, I don't want it to expire. I want it to be tied to economic factors because I don't have time to keep on coming back here and doing a stimulus package every few weeks. I mean, just someone being very blunt about the most obvious factor, which is these congressmen take forever to get things done. So just do it one time and just get it so it doesn't expire. He wants to tie it to economic factors. And he says if economic factors are great, then we don't need it. Amen. Very, very simple. Then he does not exclude the retroactiveness of FPUC. Got to get behind him and make him accept that narrative as well. You were supposed to get FPUC back to July and forward as well. Next, we go to the stimulus check. His statement that senators have every right to negotiate aspects of the bill and go bigger and bolder is reasons to get behind Ossoff, Warnock, Sanders, and Warren and Schumer, who all said Biden was going to give you a $2,000 stimulus check on top of Trump's $1,400 stimulus check. They're suddenly taking ownership of Trump's $1,400 stimulus check and calling it Biden's stimulus check. It's not. In fall of last year, in December of last year, October, November, the Republicans were trying to do $600 and the Democrats were trying to do $600. And Trump said, no, I want $2,000. And they said, okay, you know what? We'll give you, Trump, another $1,400. So it brings everyone to $2,000. They didn't get it done. And then when January rolled around, they said, okay, there's going to be a new bill. We'll give you $1,400 from last year and a new $2,000 stimulus check under Biden. Suddenly, Biden's ostensibly not giving a stimulus check of his own. Ossoff and Warnock ran on the campaign that they were going to give you $2,000. So this is the push to get behind them as well. Finally, we turn to the issue of adult dependence, which is more an Elizabeth Warren, Bernie Sanders push. They were supposed to get $3,200 under the Cash Act because they were omitted as a stimulus recipient under the first stimulus package of $1,200, omitted under the second stimulus package as a recipient of $600, and now they were supposed to get those two checks unpaid with the new $1,400 stimulus check. Instead, they're only getting $1,400 stimulus check? Not correct. It needs to be $3,200. Let's turn to those multiple stimulus checks. The multiple stimulus checks are great. The only issue that I have with them is that they're great, particularly not the group that should be receiving them, and that if we're going to even leave them where they are, then the other groups need to get them as well. Let me explain. The Congress, the $1.9 trillion stimulus package bill currently wants to give a $3,600 stimulus check to a 2-year-old. Yes, a 2-year-old. I'm sorry. Since this pandemic hit, no adult has even gotten $3,600 of a stimulus check. And now a 2-year-old's going to get $3,600. It just is mind-blowing. It's just mind-blowing. If you're an adult, so far to this day, you have gotten $1,200 and $600. That's all you got. You got an $1,800. Suddenly a 2-year-old is going to get more than you have gotten. It doesn't make sense. Now, I don't want to take away from the 2-year-old, but if the 2-year-old is going to get $3,600, I think you need to start paying other people more money. Let's look at who else should get more money on top of everyone else. The most obvious is the individual who worked as an essential worker during the pandemic and made less than $25,000. They qualify for an earned income tax credit under the Biden plan, $1,500. $1,500 on top of $1,400. So that individual under the Biden plan has to wait till next year to get the $1,500, while the child gets the $3,600 starting in the month of July. Again, not fair. The $1,500 earned income tax credit should be prepaid in July if you're prepaying the 2-year-old his or her check in July of $3,600. The way the multiple stimulus checks work for the adults is that the $3,600 is paid prorated per month, starting the month of July. So $300 a month every month for 12 months for a 6-year-old or younger. And if you're 17 years or younger, it's a little bit less, coming out to $3,000 a year. That is that. Then when the bill lands in the Senate, hey, there's room for Elizabeth Warren to drive the truck in, another truck on the highway, and say, there's enough money to do SSI and SSDI of $200 a month. There is far more than enough to do SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits, veterans benefits of $200 a month on top of these existing benefits. If we can give $3,600 to 2-year-olds, we can certainly give $200. If we can give $300 a month to 2-year-olds, we can certainly give $200 a month to seniors and people on benefits. It's so obvious. It is not an earth-shattering idea. Finally, the business people are getting a shaft as well. How is this happening? EIDL grant, $5,000. What the world is an EIDL grant of $5,000? It doesn't do anything. What does needs to be $10,000. So you need to get behind all the people who want to give businesses more money, like Ted Cruz, like Marco Rubio, like Cardin, like the senator from Arizona. And let's go over everything else. The concern is that this economy is not going in the right direction, and even this stimulus may not work as enough. We've put a lot of optimism together forward, and the market's trying to figure out where we are from here, says Gregory Farinello, who is head of U.S. rate trading at Amaverst. The concern is that the virus is not under particular control. A new report from Johnson & Johnson CEO Alex Gorky says that you'll need to take a vaccine every year. Almost like the click of the dial, so to speak, we'll see another variant, another mutation. So we'll have to get so that we'll have to fend off another set of antibodies. Meantime, it's easier to get the vaccine. Rick Gates, Walgreens Senior Vice President of Pharmacy, says in late March, early April, we'll see it. You'll have broadly across all our stores. They already rolled off in CVS stores this weekend as well. Dr. Fauci says until we say broad stroke vaccination, like 80% of the U.S. population, we won't see that going anywhere. This last week showed how House members can fight to get items in a bill when they want to get them in the bill. They just haven't been fighting for your provisions. They fought to get the $15 minimum wage after progressives saw it disappear and fought to get it back in. Meantime, there's problems with SBA again. SBA is now paying the remainder of the $10,000 EIDL grant to 2020 applicants, I can report. Some of the viewers of this channel have sent me the messages, the emails from SBA.gov saying, hi, we're ready to pay the remainder of $10,000 EIDL grant. But there's problems with SBA on second stimulus. They have yet to actually get money out as quickly as promised under PPP. So far, the predictions have come true, says Bill Briggs, former SBA head. Money has not run out, but figuring how to get through the validation checks has been a balancing act, meaning they're not getting money out as fast as possible. And while certain states are doing major overhauls of how they operate businesses, Congress has looked at that as not a need for more stimulus, perhaps a question of whether this is the final stimulus package or not. Let me explain. Nancy Pelosi this week said this is not the final stimulus package. Stop thinking it is. Ultimately, one of the big issues of the third stimulus package is that it was written in January of this year when a lot of items of this economy were quite different. There was no variant of the virus. There was no concerns about battling a variant or mutation of the variant or vaccination of the variant. And this week, announcements across the board for outdoor dining reopening and indoor dining reopening. Virologist Angela Rasmussen told CNBC on Friday that indoor dining reopening in New York was an extraordinarily reckless and premature decision. And while I appreciate the economic impact of opening businesses back, and while cases are on the decline, we have new variants that are circulating and can be more transmutable. Yesterday, the CDC head said businesses can get back to normal and can go back inside, especially teachers. But that's not what some of the scientists are saying. We do not want to create new opportunities for the virus to spread among strangers who are not in each other's households. We need to hang in there a little longer for the non-pharmaceutical interventions that are meant to reduce the risk, such as masking and distancing, until we can get more people vaccinated. Big week ahead, of course, as we'll see the third stimulus package bill. The vote will be in the House on no later than February 22nd. It then goes to the Senate for the parliamentarian to make snips and tucks, and then up for debate among senators. We'll see earnings calls on Tuesday from companies like CVS, Avis, and Budget. Of course, Monday's a holiday. Wednesday, we'll see earnings reports from Hilton and companies like Cheesecake Factory. And then Thursday, we'll see the new jobless claims at 5:30 a.m. on the West Coast, along with earnings reports from Walmart and Dropbox. And finally, Deere will report earnings along with the new building reports as well. If you have questions or comments in today's video, drop them in comments below. I'd love to feature them in tomorrow's recording. And if you've not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. Also like this video. Coming up next is What the Chuck. Stay informed, stay focused. If you've not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. Also like this video. And stay informed by becoming a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, or Casino VIP. I'll see you next on What the Chuck.